The cold gray walls of a prison cell are closing in on Robert Sugden, and the silence is deafening. Outside, a web of lies, spun with venomous skill by the manipulative John, has ensnared his family, turning his loved ones against him and leaving him utterly alone. Charged with the attempted murder of John and his own ex-husband, Aaron Dingle, Robert's future looks bleaker than a stormy night in the Dales. But in the tangled, messy, and heartbreaking world of Emmerdale, hope can spark from the most unexpected of places, and a single voice of doubt might just be the key to unlocking the truth. Right now, though, that truth feels a million miles away. For anyone looking in, the story seems tragically simple, and it's a story John is selling with an Oscar-worthy performance. The poisonous lie and a family torn asunder. Let's be clear, we all saw what really happened. We saw the malice in John's eyes as he wrapped his arms around Aaron at that gorge, not in an embrace, but in a hold of deadly intent. It was John who jumped, dragging a terrified Aaron with him into the abyss. But the story he's telling the world, it's a masterpiece of manipulation. He paints a chilling picture of a jealous, vengeful Robert Sugden, consumed by a fit of rage, charging at them and shoving them over the edge. It's a lie so simple, so believable, playing perfectly on Robert's complicated past and fiery temper, that it has taken root and poisoned the very ground the Sugdens and Dingles walk on. The fallout has been swift and brutal. With Aaron lying unconscious in a hospital bed, the Dingle family's grief has morphed into a furious, protective rage aimed squarely at Robert and anyone who stands with him. At the heart of this storm is Robert's own sister, Victoria. Having chosen to believe her partner John, she has inadvertently drawn a battle line right through the middle of her own life. Nowhere was this clearer than at the farm. In a scene thick with tension and betrayal, Moira and Cain Dingle delivered their verdict. Their faces, etched with pain and fury, told Victoria everything she needed to know before they even spoke. They were cutting her out. The farm, their shared dream, was being fractured. They would buy her out, return her investment, and sever all ties. Our families can't work together anymore, they told her, the words hanging in the air like a death sentence for their relationship. For Victoria, it was more than just losing a business. It was the gut-wrenching feeling of being disowned by the family that had become her own. A sister's heartbreak and a brother's last chance. Victoria is crumbling. She's trying so hard to be the loyal partner, to stand by John, but the cost is devastating. She's being punished for a crime she believes her brother committed, and the isolation is eating her alive. When Charity Dingle, of all people, comes knocking, the dam finally breaks. Charity, ever the pragmatist, is there to ask about the mysterious disappearance of her own flame, Mac, Moira's brother and Oren's best friend. But one look at Victoria's shattered expression and the conversation shifts. Victoria collapses into tears, the sobs racking her body. It all comes pouring out, the shunning, the whispers, the glares in the village, the crushing weight of being seen as the sister of an attempted murderer. She is trapped between the man she loves and the brother she's known her whole life. It's in this raw, vulnerable moment that the phone rings, the caller ID flashes. HMP Northgate, Robert. Victoria's reaction is instant and instinctive. A gasp, a flicker of panic, and then a harsh, decisive swipe of her finger. She hangs up. She just can't hear his voice, can't listen to his pleas, because a tiny part of her is terrified that if she does, the carefully constructed reality she's clinging to will shatter. But Robert is nothing if not persistent. He knows his sister, and he knows something is terribly wrong. Defeated but not destroyed, he changes his strategy. He dials another number, one he knows by heart, the landline at Butler's farm. The phone is picked up by Matty Barton. He's not a Dingle or a Sugden, but he's family in his own way, caught in the crossfire. On the other end of the line, the voice he hears isn't the cocksure, scheming Robert he's used to. This is a different man. The voice is strained, hoarse with desperation. This is a man at the end of his rope, begging for a lifeline. Robert urges Matty, pleads with him, to get a message to Victoria, to just make her listen. The unlikely messenger plants a seed of doubt. Something in Robert's voice cuts through the noise. It's a sound Matty can't ignore, so he does what he's asked. He finds Victoria, still reeling from her emotional breakdown. He's gentle, not accusatory. He starts by promising to talk to Moira and Cain for her, to try and smooth things over about the farm. It's a small olive branch, a gesture that shows he's on her side, or at least he understands her pain. Then he delivers the message. "Robert asked you to visit him," he says softly. Victoria's walls go straight back up. "No, I'm not doing that." The rejection is firm, but her eyes betray the conflict within. This is the moment everything could change. Maddie could have just nodded and walked away, but he doesn't. He saw the truth in Robert's desperation, and now he pushes, gently but pointedly, questioning the narrative everyone has accepted. "I thought he had, Maddie admits, his voice full of sincerity. "When I first heard, I believed it. It sounded like something he'd do." He pauses, letting the weight of his next words sink in. But hearing how desperate he sounded on that phone, "I'm not so sure now." He looks directly at Victoria, forcing her to confront the question she's been terrified to ask herself. What if he's telling the truth, Vic? The question hangs between them, powerful and terrifying. It's the first crack in the dam of John's lies. "If you don't even hear what he has to say," Maddie continues, his voice barely a whisper, "if you just shut him out completely, how will you ever really know for sure?" And there it is, the doubt. The tiny, insidious what if that could unravel everything. Will Victoria listen to Maddie, the unexpected ally who heard the truth in a desperate prisoner's voice? Will she dare to visit her brother and listen to his side of the story, risking the life she has built with John? Or will she slam the door on Robert for good, potentially leaving an innocent man to rot in prison? One thing is for certain, Victoria Sugden is at a crossroads, and the path she chooses next will change everything.